All right, made it to the track. Been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, so it's kind of crazy, but gotta run up here and sing the national anthem, and then we're gonna get this show started. All right, sing the national anthem. Kind of a low car count for our opening night. I think we only got 8 modifieds, but they split us up into 2 heats, I guess, to make it interesting. And of course, I start in the tail of mine, and we're gonna go give it hell, have a good time, and you know, load the car up in one piece. I did get to the races. Check this out. Let's see if I can. Yeah, so I did make it to the races. I had to drive to my dad's place. That's about an hour away, and pick up his excursion since my truck is broke down. But you know, we're here, getting ready to race. Let's rock and roll. All right, ran my heat race, took second. I don't know why, but I got to start on the outside front row, but I'm not going to complain. So took second. Track was rough, kind of to be expected. This track usually always, first race of the year, they always put new material and stuff on it, and for some reason, always the first race, it turns into kind of a rutted dust mess. But then after the first race, it's good because all that new manure and sawdust and new clay and stuff's all packed in. Just kind of the way it is. But came in for redraw, pulled a 1. All I got to do is stay there. So, all right, I'm gonna go get some food, and we'll talk to you later. All right, started day number 2. We got a bunch of cars, a bunch of sprint cars and stuff all lined up, and had to run up and sing the national anthem again, but they were having technical difficulties, so I got to do it without a microphone, so that was fun. I just sang over the crowd. It was volume over accuracy, I guess, at that point. But broke a shock last night, replaced the shock, and cars together. We start pulling the heat race, and we're gonna go out and have some fun. So I'll talk back at you. That's a shock, and that's the other part of the shock. And the chain limiter mount is gutted, and the chain limiter is not hooked up. So got to figure that out. So and then the brake, because it got to overextend, is now completely wrapped around on the caliper. Oh, the joys of broken stuff. Let's see if we can get it fixed and figure it out. All right, so heat race blew apart. My limiting chain gutted itself. The bolt broke. Blew apart my shock and spun the caliper around, and it shoved the driveline in and completely gutted the output shaft seal on the transmission. So currently what I'm doing, because I still have not yet transferred everything that I need to transfer out of my blown up motorhome into the trailer or into a tote to put in my truck, because again, I'm running on borrowed time for everything right now. So I am currently running into town to get a seal. I called AutoZone. I called a couple places, and AutoZone had it. So, or at least they say that they have it. We're gonna find out. So I'm gonna get there, hopefully purchase it. Luckily, my brother's in town, so he's currently pulling the drive line and trying to get the seal out, and all that happy stuff. Man, it's just craziness. The track felt really good. It was a little wet down on the bottom because they had just wet the berm to keep people off of it. And of course, I started on the pole and I was kind of pushed down to the bottom, and just didn't have any go-go down there. And I'm pretty sure going into like the second lap or third lap is when that thing blew apart, because the car started pushing like a dump truck, like super fast, and it kind of stunk. So hopefully we can get it all put back together. I only have one left rear shock left, and it is a meh shock. So it's definitely not what I want, not even close. But we're gonna throw it on there and see what happens anyways, because that's what we do. We're here to race and put on a show, and I'm just gonna put together what I got and see what I can do. But that it just stinks that kind of happened, because now I got two blown shocks in the same weekend. And we checked the chain limiter when we put the other shock in, make sure nothing else was broken, and everything was looking good. Apparently I did not inspect well enough, and I guess that's on me. So is what it is. So all right, I'm gonna go get my parts, hopefully get this thing slammed back together so that we can go out for the main, because we run in the running order. We run fourth, but luckily they're doing kids rides right now, so we have a couple minutes, not a whole lot of minutes, but a couple minutes. So all right guys, talk at you later. I kill all the lights here, quick update on the night, or rather a wrap up. Got the car back together. Thank goodness for my brother and his help. We got the car back together. I had to run into town and get that seal, and we got it together. The left rear chain limiter broke. And of course it blew everything apart, but when it broke, it actually broke a couple links off. And I did not realize that until I put it back together, and I was like, how come this is not dropping as much as it should drop? And oh well, so by the time I extended it as much as I could, I was still about 2.5 inches shy of the normal amount of drop that I get. So fought a super tight race car the entire time. Started third. There was a spin out. We didn't get collected or nothing, which was awesome, and we got to go again, complete restart. Drove around in second for a long time, fighting the car, but it is what it is. And then I pushed really hard, and third got underneath me, and there was like 1 or 2 laps to go after that, and then there it was. So finished third. Car loaded itself. There's still a bunch of bent stuff back there. I blew all of my good shocks. I have a shock on there that I probably would never run, except for in dire situations type of thing. And this was a dire situation. It was the only shock I had left. So definitely got to get some shocks rebuilt, or new shocks, because I don't know if those can be rebuilt. They were blown so bad. I mean, they're junk. And yeah, so now I'm walking around turning all the lights off. That's part of the being a volunteer at a racetrack thing. And I don't know, car still loaded itself on the trailer. So successful weekend of racing. Wish I could have been faster, but it is what it is. I learned something new every time I race, and we had some awesome races in the other classes. In our bootlegger class, sprint cars were here, and we had some really good racing. Track was much better today than it was yesterday. Lots more grip and smoother, so we had a good time. All right, well, that's it for me. Catch you next time.